Hi everyone, welcome back to Vibe for another AP Stats video.
Today we'll be talking about conditional, mutually exclusive, and independent events. So, what is conditional probability? So the formula for conditional probability, A given B, is the probability of A and B over the probability of B. The definition of conditional probability is the probability of event A occurring given that event B has already occurred. And an alternate way to say this is if event B has already occurred, what is the probability that event A will happen? And some important things to remember when you're doing conditional probability questions is that these events are dependent of each other. So event A is dependent on event B occurring, or conditional on event B occurring. So here's an example. You can pause the video and do it by yourself. Okay, so the question is asking what the probability of getting an AP Stats student given that they're a junior. So first we have to put our events down. So we can say that event A is a student takes AP Stats, and we can say that event B is a student is a junior. And so using the formula from the previous slide, probability of A given B, we can use the information that they gave us, and we find that the probability is 0.4. And an interpretation of this is you can say that given that a student is a junior, the probability that they take AP Stats is 0.4. So here are the differences between independent versus mutually exclusive events. Independent events do not affect each other, while mutually exclusive events cannot occur at the same time. So it's like a different in concepts. One event occurring does not change the probability of the second event occurring for independent events, while mutually exclusive events cannot occur at the same time. And the intersection probability is 0. For independent events, when you draw from a sample pool with replacement, that means that every outcome is independent. While for mutually exclusive events, they're dependent. So one event always affects the probability of the other occurring. So for independence of events, to find that two events are independent, you can use this formula. The probability of the intersection is equal to probability of A times probability of B. And that's true if the events are independent. And if the events are not independent, then the probability of A and B is equal to the probability of A times the probability of B given A.
Okay, so here's an example. You guys can take a moment to read it before solving, and then we'll solve it together. Okay, so hopefully you guys are able to solve it and read it. So first what we're gonna do is note down our events. So in this problem, the event A is a student taking AP Statistics, and event B is a student that is a junior. So we are finding the probability that the events happen at the same time given that they are independent. So therefore we are going to use the formula probability of A and B equals probability of A times probability of B. In the question, it's given that event A's probability is 30%, so we put down 0.3. Event B's probability is 45%, so we put down 0.45. And so multiplying that, we get 0.135. That's our answer. Now we're going to move on to mutually exclusive events. So for mutually exclusive events, what we're finding is the probability of A or B. So if the events are mutually exclusive, you can use the formula probability of A or B plus probability equals probability of A plus probability of B. And if they're not mutually exclusive, you can use the equation probability of A or B equals probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B. But do note that if an event is mutually exclusive, because mutually exclusive means they cannot happen at the same time, it'll always be 0. So you don't even need to add the probabilities. Okay, so now we're going to try some actual AP questions so you guys can take a moment to read it and try to solve it on your own. Okay, hopefully that was enough time. So the answer to this problem is B. How we did this is because we know that it's without replacement, so it's not independent, we can use the formula given on the screen. When we do that, because we have 6 people that are left-handed out of 40 students, so probability of A is 6 out of 40. So we're going to multiply that because we want the probability of 2 students being selected that are left-handed. We're going to take one of the left-handed students out, so it goes from 6 left-handed students to 5. So from our numerator will change from 6 to 5 for the second fraction. And then because we also took a student out, instead of 40 total students, now we have 39 total students. So ultimately you're going to multiply 6 over 40 times 5 over 39 to get your answer of 30 over 1560. Okay, this is our next AP question. You guys can take a moment to read it and then answer the question, and then we'll go through it together. Okay, so hopefully you guys got it. The answer to this was A. If you read the problem, you'll notice that these events cannot occur at the same time. You have to choose one or the other. And because mutually exclusive events cannot happen at the same time, and this problem depicts that, we know that it has to be 0. So our answer is yes, because the probability of F or S is equal to 0. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope this video helped you with these specific topics in AP Statistics Unit 4. Don't be afraid to look at the website or also text on our WhatsApp group chat if you guys have any questions. Have a great day, you guys.